Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive hurdle that so many modern organizations face. We're talking about how treating your data chaos is absolutely 100% the essential first step before you even think about attempting a major migration, system integration, or especially an AI rollout. Let's face it, when you're dealing with millions of records, completely inconsistent formatting, and literally years of accumulated technical debt, your foundation is a mess. And if your foundation is messy, whatever you try to build on top of it is going to eventually crumble. So we're going to explore exactly how to move away from just making assumptions and instead get actionable, quantified insights to actually fix this problem.
The folks over at the Salesforce Customer Service Group sum up this dilemma perfectly. They ask, if you do not understand your data, how do you know what to clean? Or whether your data is fit for business purpose? It's a brilliant point, right? Without truly understanding your baseline data, any cleanup effort or AI preparation is really just an expensive guessing game. You have to know exactly what you're dealing with before you start pulling levers and making changes.
So here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll cover the data health check. Second, choosing your architecture. Third, key metrics and scenarios. And finally, action and ongoing monitoring. Let's dive in. Okay, jumping right into Section 1, the data health check, diagnosing your org. Consider Luna, a data architect at Northern Trail Outfitters. She inherited this super complex CRM org that was originally implemented way back in 2017. Over the years, thanks to new processes, company acquisitions, and just changing user habits, the system desperately needed a comprehensive health check. But before she could even prescribe a fix for all this accumulated technical debt, she had to perform what we call data profiling. You can think of this as the data equivalent of a full physical checkup at the doctor's office. It's the process of deeply analyzing the structure, content, and quality of your data to uncover meaningful patterns, anomalies, and metrics. It basically gives you the hard, quantified evidence you need to prioritize your efforts, giving you a clear baseline of what is actually happening in your system.
Now, you might be wondering, why couldn't she just use standard reports? Well, standard reporting usually requires piecing together a bunch of different reports, writing really complex Apex scripts, and manually copying data into spreadsheets just to understand how fields are being used. It's a nightmare. True data profiling, on the other hand, operates across entire datasets and metadata all at once. It's totally automated and holistic, so it completely replaces that manual, time-consuming busy work with insights that can actually scale.
Moving on to Section 2, choosing your architecture, or basically, where to treat the patient.
Before she could run these diagnostic tests, Luna had to objectively weigh her deployment options. Because, let's be honest, data profiling is only useful if you can run it securely and repeatedly. You've basically got two routes here. Native in-org tools keep your data securely locked within your existing trust boundaries, and they align perfectly with your metadata context. That means the tool intrinsically understands your pick lists and field dependencies. On the flip side, external tools, like massive data lakes, are great because they support heavy compute and huge volumes. But they require extracting and moving your data out of the system entirely, which adds a ton of integration complexity and means you have to go through extra security reviews.
Faced with those trade-offs, Luna ultimately went with the native data profiling solution that supported both her CRM and Data 360 sources. And why is that such a big deal? Because it meant her data stewards could review and correct issues directly inside Salesforce, right where the data is actually governed and managed anyway. It kept all those insights actionable and immediate, and her admins didn't have to learn some entirely new, clunky external user interface.
All right, on to Section 3, key metrics and scenarios, reading the vital signs.
With her native tool locked in, Luna started running specific diagnostic tests on Northern Trail Outfitters data. Think of these metrics as the vital signs showing exactly what's happening under the hood. For instance, you have the field fill rate, which identifies unused or totally abandoned fields that are just taking up space and making the user experience a mess. Then there's the default value ratio, which is great for flagging lazy data entry or broken integrations that are just stamping useless placeholders over and over instead of real information. And finally, uniqueness shows a values repeat, which is absolutely critical for finding duplicates and merging fragmented records. This entire approach replaces guessing with hard, undeniable evidence.
And get this, when analyzing these metrics, Luna uncovered a staggering piece of technical debt. She found exactly 84 never-used, completely empty fields on the case object alone. Just think about that for a second. These fields were just sitting there, eating up custom field limits, confusing the users, and cluttering up the whole org while providing literally zero value to the business. It's the perfect example of technical debt hiding right in plain sight.
And the plot thickens. By looking at record creation and update dates, she found that out of 2 million case records, only 10% were actually operationally significant. That means a massive 90% could be safely archived. This single insight was a real game changer. It paved the way to drastically reduce their expensive storage costs while keeping the operational system running super fast and efficiently.
But profiling isn't just about hunting for empty fields and old data. By filtering field usage by specific business scenarios, Luna was able to profile cases that closed within their service level agreements versus the ones that breached them. She pinpointed the exact case types and support groups causing the most breaches. She brilliantly shifted the conversation from just a data problem directly to a highly targeted process improvement opportunity. Which brings us to Section 4, Action and Ongoing Monitoring, the Treatment Plan.
Armed with this undeniable proof from her profiling, Luna established a strict 3-step data quality management framework to move from analysis to definitive action. Profiling literally dictates your order of operations. Step 1. Clean, retiring those unused fields and deactivating old pickless values. Step 2. Enrich, adding in missing, trusted data wherever there are critical gaps. And Step 3. Unify, using those uniqueness metrics we talked about to confidently resolve duplicates and stitch together fragmented customer profiles.
Now, to make sure that first clean step didn't inadvertently break the whole system, Luna relied on some very strict metadata criteria. She wasn't just going in and deleting things blindly, right? She only deprecated those 84 empty fields if they met 3 rules. They were not part of a managed package, they were created over 3 months ago, and they had absolutely 0 metadata dependencies. Having this framework allowed her to rip out that technical debt with total confidence.
But here's the thing, treatment isn't just a one-and-done deal. Data profiling has to become a repeatable feedback loop tied directly to your overall data lifecycle. You profile before major initiatives so you understand your baseline. You profile after bulk loads to verify that changes actually worked. You profile after deployments to track if users are actually adopting the new fields. And you run it regularly to detect any data drift over time.
This continuous monitoring basically acts as your early warning system. For example, if an automated schedule suddenly shows that your week 3 lead volume has plummeted to 0, a data steward instantly knows that an external integration has failed or a user adoption habit is broken. This lets the team step in and fix the issue immediately, long before it silently wreaks havoc on a quarterly revenue report. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a rather provocative question. Is your data foundation truly ready for tools like Agentforce and AI? Because AI relies entirely on structured, consistent data. If you ran this exact health check on your own org today, would your data actually support accurate AI reasoning, or would it simply automate the chaos you already have? Think about it. Understanding your data through profiling isn't just basic system maintenance anymore. It's the absolute prerequisite for the future.